All right, I've got a brand new DCU update for you guys today, and we're going to do the same thing that I did with my last video where I kind of show you some stills that I took with my camera as screenshots to kind of put us through the narrative here. Now, I've got a lot to talk about in this video, and I'm debating. There's lots of things I want to start talking about on my channel, including Star Wars. I am probably going to do a Star Wars video today shortly after I'm done with this one. There's a lot going on with Star Wars, and I want to cover some bombshell information that came out today. I still have to do another update on Rebel Moon. I want to talk about Indiana Jones. There's lots of things I want to talk about, and I'm debating whether or not to just start doing one big video where I talk about everything and have it divided into chapters from DC, Rebel Moon, and some of the other stuff. I don't know about doing that, though. That would make for a very long video. I think I'm probably going to keep them separate, but I will tell you the format I'm using for today's video, most of the people really enjoyed what I did, so I'm going to continue to do that. Now, the big news today is that James Gunn made a massive comment about Netflix purchasing Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyderverse, basically. And we're going to talk about that. That will be last. There are lots of other things I want to cover first, so let's get into these photos. So the first photo we're going to look at here is we've got the Penguin TV show coming up, and we've got Clancy Brown has been cast as Salvatore Maroni. So he is going to be taking a big role in, and anybody knows the history of Batman. He is the one who created Two-Face, so I wouldn't be surprised if in this TV show, if we have Two-Face created to fall into the Batman universe, but Clancy Brown will be playing Salvatore Maroni. So I'm actually looking forward to that. I like Clancy Brown. He's a big-time voice actor. He's also a character actor on a lot of different things. But again, being a voice actor, I love his voice is very unique, and he's very well known for everything that he does, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, on that same note, they did release some pictures of the new Penguin show. So over here, we can see some photos that they took, and they actually took some video there of the Penguin on the set of the new show. So they are officially filming it now. I still think that is some pretty incredible makeup. I think they're going to probably win an Oscar for that makeup. I think it's phenomenal. It's really well done. There was only one time during the Batman where I knew that you could tell that was Colin Farrell, but that is probably the best interpretation of the Penguin from the comics that we've probably seen yet. I do like how they kept this one pretty close to what the original Penguin was supposed to be. So we've got that show currently filming and will be out sometime next year, is my guess, in 2024. Definitely before. They're probably going to play it to ramp up for the Batman 2 release. All right, so the next picture here, we have Keanu Reeves says he has spoken with James Gunn about Constantine 2. So there were jokes about this. This did happen. He did meet with him, so Constantine 2 is still a go as far as we know it, and Keanu Reeves will be reprising his role as Constantine. And there were jokes made about this, that he's going to, replace his spells with other juvenile jokes about, all kinds of boy body parts and other stuff. But I digress. I'm glad that they're making Constantine 2. I'm hoping that they make that part of the DCU and not just an Elseworld story. With them doing Swamp Thing, this would be a great time to include this character along with that for a Justice League Dark eventually down the line. We'll see what they do with that. The next picture I have here is Jay Hernandez, who is currently playing in the 5th season of Magnum P.I., and he was in the first Suicide Squad movie as El Diablo, and he was killed in the theatrical version of the show. Well, he came out and said that his character does not die in the actual air cut of the film, and he is looking forward to seeing the air cut released. He thinks that the filmmaker's vision should always be released as it was meant to be. I watched this little interview with him. It was a little video, and he talked about how obviously the studios hire these filmmakers, and they would like to basically, if they hire them for their vision, they should allow them to make their vision, which I thought was interesting. He was speaking some serious truth there. All right, next we have Val Kilmer has come out, according to FandomWire.com, and has revealed that he wants James Gunn to bring him back, Jim Carrey, and Tommy Lee Jones for a Batman Forever reunion in the DCU. I don't know where this would fit in, to be honest with you. Val Kilmer is still not all that healthy. He can't talk. I don't know what good this would do if they actually did a cameo like this. If they did a cameo without him speaking, that could possibly work. But I don't know how this would fit into the DCU at all. Now, maybe with the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, we may see something interesting, if they bring any of these characters over into that universe, but I highly doubt it. All right, so before I talk about the big bombshell information that came from James Gunn himself, I want to look at something else first. This just came out. Now, the embargo on the reviews for Shazam 2 have been lifted. I'll probably do another video tomorrow covering what a lot of the people thought of that film. But this is very interesting. We all know that Wonder Woman is going to be in the film, and there are reports that they are officially going to have a fake Wonder Woman actress in the movie. And let's take a look at this article. So Shazam 2 just spoiled its Justice League cameo with a twist. Despite Gal Gadot's time as Wonder Woman seeming to come to an end, the character will be appearing in some capacity in the DCU much sooner than expected, but not as many fans know her. Many fans excitedly noticed footage of a familiar shoulder, then gauntlets, all seemingly to belong to the beloved Justice League member, in trailers for March 17th's Shazam Fury of the Gods. Before the announcement of Gunn and Safran's DC reboot, Gadot has been set to appear as Diane, a Themyscira, in multiple projects. When the report that Wonder Woman's role may have been cut from the upcoming The Flash movie, some expected the hero to be removed from the Shazam sequel too. Luckily, Wonder Woman fans don't have to wait long to see their favorite hero, but it isn't exactly in the manner one may assume. Now, this is some weird information here. A new press release revealed that Taylor Cahill will be playing fake Wonder Woman in Shazam Fury of the Gods. No exact information about Cahill's role was noted, but it's possible that the brief appearance of a character resembling Wonder Woman from the movie's trailers are in fact this fake Wonder Woman as opposed to Gal Gadot playing Diana. Further, the press release disclosed that one of the songs in the film will be Is She With You, Wonder Woman theme, written by Hans Zimmer and performed by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. This indicates that either the theme will play as a gag with fake Wonder Woman or in earnest as she does something to warrant such a song. There is a good chance that Gadot's Wonder Woman could still be appearing in the movie, though, given the recent footage pointing towards her inclusion and the fake designation being absent from the new Shazam 2 branded merch of the hero. Why a fake Wonder Woman? And they kind of go into, what happened with Henry Cavill at the end of the first Shazam. Now, here are my thoughts on this, and I'll make this as brief as possible. There are two ways that this could go, that they are replacing Gal Gadot, and this could be their first way of easing into that, which I don't think is the case. Personally, I think it's going to be someone in the film dressed as a fake Wonder Woman. From what I've heard, Wonder Woman does have a pretty dang big role to play in the film, and I do expect it to be Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. She plays a massive role in the film from the spoilers that I've heard, and I'm not going to spoil it for people, but I do believe Gal Gadot is going to be in the film, but I do believe we're going to have this fake Wonder Woman as well. So we'll see when this movie gets released. I do have tickets to see it next Thursday, and I will be reviewing it as soon as it's done. So the last story I'm going to talk about here, and it's going to be kind of two-pronged, has to do with James Gunn himself. I'm going to talk about this part of it, and then I'm going to go back to the video and just kind of talk about the last part of this here. So James Gunn, somebody came out the other day and said, have you sold Snyderverse to Netflix yet? He said, Netflix hasn't asked for it. All right, now this is pretty big, and it's big because he's saying that the door is still open. At least that's what he's indicating. If the door is not open to possibly have the Snyder characters continue on down the line or on a different platform, why is he even on here communicating with people and going about it this way? The only thing I could see is that if he is toying with the Snyderverse fandom, because I think Warner Brothers has made it very clear they don't want to have anything to do with the Snyderverse fans or the Snyderverse characters, and they're going in a completely different direction, and this could just be him trolling. But this does indicate that the door is open if one of these streaming networks wants, streaming services would like to pick it up. Amazon would probably be the best choice. They're the ones that have the money. All the streaming services last year in 2022 lost money. Nobody is profitable right now, and so a lot of these streaming services are going to be combining different streaming networks into one, services into one, so that they can, number one, charge more, probably less than each of them individually, but they can charge more on the base and start making money, because they are all hurting, and we may see streaming go away as we know it if they don't start making a profit in the next couple of years. So there's still something else I want to talk about in regards to James Gunn. So James Gunn did come out the other day. He also indicated that what he revealed for Phase 1 of the DCU is less than half of what they have planned for Phase 1. Now, that indicates that there are a lot more projects that they do have planned down the line. I don't know that these projects are ever going to see the light of day. I've said this before. The Superman movie is going to be a make-or-break situation for Warner Brothers. If the Superman film that they are producing and making does not do well, this is going to be DOA. It's just straight up going to be DOA. Dead on arrival. It's going to be over and done with that film. We've seen Warner Brothers come out with slates in the past. We still have the original slate back, when they announced all these projects almost 7 or 8 years ago now that never came to fruition. That same thing could happen here, especially if there's a sale. This year and next year are going to be big indicators if Warner Brothers Discovery can start making money or not. And they're a lot bigger than just the films, but they do have plans to milk they're trying to get Peter Jackson back to do the Lord of the Rings series. They want him back to do some more films, and they're going to milk the Harry Potter franchise, which I think is a mistake on both fronts. Unless they can get the original actors back and come up with some decent stories, I think they're just going to be milking it. And my fear with this, one of the things about James Gunn's Suicide Squad that I really hated was not the design of Shark, but the way he looked. The CGI was terrible. And Warner Brothers has been absolutely terrible with CGI, period. What they did with Henry Cavill is unforgivable in the theatrical version of Justice League. And what they did with Shark in the Suicide Squad movie was very cheap and takes you out of the moment. Honestly, Warner Brothers is out of money. And with a Superman film coming up, you cannot cut corners on the special effects. And I'm afraid we're going to get effects like we did in the Suicide Squad film that just are not becoming of the characters. It's not becoming of the world, and will pull you out of it. I have a lot of fears coming up with all of this stuff. But I digress. I'm still going to be watching it. I'm still going to be partaking in it. Now, I am going to be going to see each of these films at least once. I plan on just once. Now, the Flash film I may see multiple times, but these other films I plan on only seeing once, because I really don't have a desire to see Blue Beetle or the second Aquaman at this point. But I am going to be covering it because my channel is all about the DC universe, especially live action stuff. I am going to be covering all of it. So I'm still going to go see the movies. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm never going to be one of those that says, I'm totally against this and then turn around and do it. I am going to be boycotting them as much as I can, but I'm one of those fans that would go see, movies sometimes up to 7 times. And that will not be the case going forward, not until this is corrected and we know that they're on a path that is going to service the fans and these characters the way they need to be. So we'll see what happens here in the future. I do appreciate the support. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.